NATO. Now it says Russia issues a nuclear warning directive at the U.S. and NATO. This coming out today as a result of the news that is spreading across the headlines. Now this says that Russia said Monday
I'm telling you,
today
people,
that it is no
keep your
longer
eyes
bound
open
by a self-imposed moratorium on deploying land-based intermediate-range nuclear missiles, blaming the United States and NATO's plans to station similar weapons in Europe and the Asia-Pacific. Newsweek reached out to the White House for comments via email on Monday today. Now, here's why it matters. The U.S. and Russia signed an Intermediate-Range Nuclear Force Treaty, the INF, back in 1987, but the U.S. withdrew from it in 2019 during President Donald Trump's first term, while accusing Russia of repeatedly violating the agreement. Now, Moscow signaled that it, too, would withdraw from the agreement last December, with
This is
Russian
all the
Foreign
shit I was
Minister
telling
Sergei
you
Lavrov
folks
telling the
in
state
my other
news agency
videos.
RIA Novosti that the agreement was no longer viable, while accusing the United States of deploying the weapons globally. Now, tensions between Washington and Moscow have reached a boiling point in recent months, particularly related to the Trump administration's efforts to negotiate a ceasefire in Russia's war against neighboring Ukraine. So here's what to know. Russian Foreign Ministry has accused Washington of escalating tensions by testing, producing, and moving systems once banned under the defunct Intermediate-Range Nuclear Force Treaty, or the INF. AD Straw Hat, thank you for the $2 super chat, says, we've got to take that Medvedev freak out, USA only. And if you agree, drop war in the comments if you think that's the direction we're going. Thank you for the $2 super chat, AD. Moscow said the deployments, including recent U.S. missile activity in Denmark, the Philippines, and Australia, pose a direct threat to Russian security. The Kremlin warned that it will take military technical steps in response to restore what it calls a strategic balance. Now, in specific terms, since 2023, we have been recording precedents of the transfer of American systems capable of ground-based launch of intermediate-range missiles to European NATO countries for testing of these weapons during exercises that have a clear anti-Russian focus, the Foreign Ministry said in its statement. So here's what people are saying. The Russian Foreign Ministry said, in part, against the backdrop of targeted steps by the United States, as a result of which the Intermediate-Range Nuclear Force Treaty, or the INF, ceased to exist in 2019, and in subsequent years, the Russian Federation has proactively made efforts to maintain restraint in this area. In particular, this was reflected in statements made at the highest level in 2019 and